Tap, blah, 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 welcome to Magic the Chat. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Magic Chattering. I'm your host Cal, and in today's video, I know I've been gone a while, but we're back now for Foundations, and with Foundations comes a whole heap of new players, and with new players they want to know what they can play and how they can play it, and today I've picked out 5 commanders in the new Foundations set that you, the new player, can build. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1, we've got Guider, Font of Hope. So 1 and a white for a 2/2 angel with flying and vigilance. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control, and it can tap to add white. Spend this mana only to cast an angel spell. The reason I've picked Guider is, first of all, monocolor. I like monocolor decks for new players. Stops you stumbling on lands. But Guider specifically, so many angels in Magic. It's one of the premier creature types in white, and there's going to be an angel every other set. There's going to be plenty that you can build off of with this deck. You can constantly upgrade it. Another thing with Guider is the powerful mana advantage that you don't often see in mono white decks. Mono white is typically known as not a great colour for ramp, and when I'm talking about ramp, I'm talking about additional mana. Guider gives you a 2 mana option to have something to tap next turn to power out your angels. Angels are generally pretty expensive. There are a few exceptions to that rule, Guider being one of them, of course. But the cheap mana value of Guider really helps accelerate your game plan. It's an evasive threat on its own, first of all. That is not to be messed around with. It's a 2/2 flyer with vigilance. You can easily strap some equipment onto it and it becomes a real problem. But angels in general are quite evasive. Flying is a really important keyword in Commander. And oftentimes there is just a player that doesn't have a flying creature and you can get in for some damage. Guider as well, and angels specifically as a tribe, there is the option to go with another colour. You could always play Avacyn, Angel of... I forget the name. But I'll pop it up on screen now. This Avacyn. You can pop this Avacyn in, and you can always go for a white and red Angels deck if that's something you prefer. Guider, I think, is a really good option for newer players. Play big Angels, beat down. It's a lot of fun. On to the next one. We've got Zul Ashur, Lich Lord. Now, Zul Ashur is 1 and a black for a 2/2 zombie warlock with ward 2, pay 2 life, and you can tap it to cast out zombie creature card from your graveyard this turn. Similar to Guider, it's a 2 mana tribal deck. Again, zombies, synonymous with magic in the black colour pie, part of the colour pie. It's a really cheap option, mana value wise. 2 mana, lets you get recursive threats from your graveyard. It's going to be really persistent, this deck. You're going to play a lot of zombies early, and even if there is a board wipe, you've always got the option to get them back with Zul Ashur. And just like Guider, you've always got the option to add a colour down the line. Probably blue, looking at Geisha and Geralf. It's a very good option for you to have. This is another one that you'll get a zombie every set, every other set, and you can constantly upgrade and make changes, and that's what Commander's all about. You know, you build a deck around a specific creature or creature type, and you just enjoy it, and down the line you're going to change it. You might change to a blue and black deck, you might go for the blue, black, white Verena, I think it is, but starting from this point gives you the easiest option. And when I say easiest, I don't mean that they're less fun. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they're easier to understand for a new player and easier to build, because there's a lot of options The reason that I didn't go for cats as the tribe for white is because there are so many cats that are hard to get hold of, whereas there are lots and lots of playable angels. And the same is true for zombies. So, on to the next one. Krenko, Mob Boss. This I have picked for pretty much the same reasons as Gaida and Zulashur. Krenko is 2 a red and a red for a 3/3 Goblin Warrior. You can tap it, create X1/1 red goblins equal to the number of goblins you control. Guess what this deck is? It's tribal. But tribal decks, it's not a bad thing, and we will look at another deck in a minute that isn't a tribal deck. But for the purposes of this, I think tribal decks are the easiest way you can get into Magic, because you can see a tribe and go, I want to play with that creature type. It's a lot of fun, and goblins, in my personal experience, are a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to play, and they're quite powerful. Krenko himself is really good if you can give him haste, and just like the zombies and the angels, you have the option to go with Wart, either one of them, if you wanted to go for a multicolored deck of any kind. You can even go Grumgully. There's a lot of options, and it's versatile. It's a lot of fun. On to the next one. Alicia, who Lapse of Fate. This is the first new card that we're going to be looking at. This is a brand new card for this set. It's 1, a black and a red for a 2/2 human warrior with first strike. When Alicia attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, if you attacked this turn, return target creature card mana value less than or equal to Alicia's power from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, again, this is really simple but really effective design. You just want to play creatures, and then if they swing, you don't really care because you're going to recare them anyway. Give Alicia some unblockable or indestructible, and you're off to the races. Not to mention again, it's a simplicity thing. The raid, that is not a hard ability to trigger. You just have to attack. You're in a multiplayer game, someone's probably going to be open. Attacking it's an intrinsic part of the game, and kind of like with the zombies and angels and goblins, you're going to get more of them, but just like that, you're going to get more things that trigger on attack or trigger on damage. So you can be sure that this deck can be tinkered with along the line. And I think that is something that I personally really enjoy about Commander, is just going through decks, going through new sets, seeing, oh, this card might be really good in this deck. This card might be really good in this deck, and trying them out. And this is one of those decks that's going to let you do that. On to the final one. I've gone with Tatiova, Benthic Druid. Tatiova is 3, a green and a blue for a Merfolk Druid who's a 3/3 with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Simple, effective. This is a classic. I have a Tatiova deck. It's one of my personal favourites. It's a very simple strategy. It rewards you for taking those basic game action, but that doesn't mean it's any less fun or less powerful. The strategy could be landfall, but it could also just be in the command zone to make the most of your land drops and ramp throughout the game, get some extra value out of it. Because if landfall doesn't entice you, why not make a ramp heavy sea monsters deck or Merfolk Tribal with Tatiova at the helm, and yeah, that'll be a lot of fun for you as well. So they're my options from Foundation. It was hard to pick just 5, but these are my picks for the best for new players. Yeah, there's a lot of tribal decks in there, but that's not to say that I feel tribal decks are more or less valuable strategies. I enjoy tribal decks. I love a good tribal deck. I've probably got too many tribal decks, but they're nice and simple and easy to upgrade and build upon. So, do you agree with my picks? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed the video, why not hit that subscribe button? And if you want to pick up any singles for yourself, you want to build any of the commanders we've spoken about today, head down below, use my Magic Madhouse affiliate link. It helps out the channel immensely. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.